Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us here on the Coach Everett Withers Show as we chat a little bit about James Madison University Dukes football with their first-year head coach Everett Withers. I'm your host, Curt Dudley. Well, the Dukes are 2-2, 4 games into this 2014 season after falling to the Villanova Wildcats, number 8 team in the country. 49-31 was the final on Saturday in Villanova, Pennsylvania. It was a beautiful day for college football. Coach, certainly offensively, you put up some big numbers, enough numbers to win the ball game, but unfortunately the defense yielded just a little too much to overcome in that loss to Villanova.
Well, yes, Curt, I thought we played well in the first half. I thought both offensively and defensively we had some bright spots in the first half. Obviously playing a very talented Villanova team on the road. That just had a bye week also, and they responded well in the second half. We did not, and obviously the outcome is what it is.
Yeah, as we break the game down just a little bit there, you know, we talk about the defense, but actually it was the defense creating some turnovers in the first half that puts your offense into some pretty good situations.
Yeah, we had 3 turnovers there, and getting those turnovers gave our offense some momentum to go ahead and score points. And for us, that's what we have to do. We have to be able to get turnovers on defense. We have to be able, obviously better at stopping the run that we've been in the first 4 games. But I do have confidence that we'll continue to get better on defense.
Well, first of all, you win the coin toss, and that was a minor accomplishment.
Yeah.
It hadn't been something you've accomplished thus far, and you end up on defense first. John Robertson, preseason player of the year offensively in the CAA. It was a very well executed drive, and we saw a little bit just in that first drive about how balanced that offense is for Villanova. They used 5 ball players,
right.
11 plays, 6 rushes,
right.
6 passes and 5 rushes.
Right.
What you expected to see?
Well, yeah, that's what we expected. Obviously he has an injury to his non-throwing hand. So we didn't expect him to run the ball as much in the ball game, but they do have 3 talented running backs that they use, and he's still able to throw the ball down the field. They did a nice job of mixing run and pass.
Well, he did. He carried the ball 11 times. You got the sack of him and got the ball stripped, one
right.
of the turnovers. From there on out, did you notice they didn't run him very much after
right.
that?
Right. I think they had a conscious effort after we got the strip sack to protect him a little bit as far as the run game and not put him in harm's way. But again, it was good by our defense to be able to get the turnovers. That's something we can build on. Hopefully we can grow in other areas on defense and continue to get better.
You talk about some small victories within each and every game. Again, the record is 2-2. Another first accomplishment was on your initial drive, it wasn't a 3 and out, and
right.
you told us you expected to be a little chess match at first, but
sure.
your pawns moved a little better than maybe what you anticipated.
Well, I think our guys offensively felt like there were some formations that we could get into to take advantage of what Villanova's style of defense was. And we were able to do that early. We knew we were going to have to throw the football to have some success and have a chance to win the game. So the success we had early, running it and throwing it down the field, gave us an opportunity to get some points and move the ball and have some success early.
They play with 3 down linemen,
yeah.
a true nose tackle.
Right.
They play with the 3 linebackers as well. It's a 3-3 stack, I
right.
guess, is what
yes.
they call it. Where are the weak spots in that? What were you able to exploit in that defense?
Well, we were able to overload the formation. We got in a lot of quad sets, a lot of 4x-none, 4x1 sets, and really were able to get the backside of their formation pretty basic in standard form. And then we were able to run the football back over there some. We also were able to get into some formations where we knew we could get some one-on-one coverage with the freshman corner. So that was some things that we were able to do to exploit their defense.
You knew you were going to have to throw the ball against them, or you figured you'd have some
yeah.
success. But 406 yards of success off the arm of Vad Lee. Maybe a little more than what you anticipated. But then to me, it's almost you're making a good adjustment because,
sure.
well, the running game wasn't quite what you were hoping it to be.
Well, they stacked the line pretty heavily. They did a nice job of blitzing our run game and really trying to add 8, 9 guys to the box and taking their Mike linebacker and basically spying Vad Lee during the game. So we felt like we were going to have to throw it. Obviously, 400 and something yards, 40 some odd throws is a little bit much for us. But at least knowing we have the capability to go and stay in a game and compete in a game to do that, at least we know we can do that.
One of the early dynamic changes to the game was John Miller had been running the ball very well, and you didn't have Juwan Latney.
Right.
I mean, he was suffering from an injury.
Right.
Khalid Abdullah didn't make the trip,
Right.
still with the ankle. All of a sudden, this offense that has to tote the ball a lot is down to really Alden Hill and Vad Lee. Hill certainly did the job as best he could, but that limited you somewhat.
Yeah, it did. And we knew going into the game that we were going to have some issues with the run game because of numbers at running back. And then when John went down, we knew Juwan Latney's issue with his sprained toe. We knew that going in. John Miller gets injured early in the game, tweaks an ankle. And then we're really down to really 3 running backs if you include Vad Lee and Taylor Woods and Alden Hill. So we had to make some adjustments. We wanted to throw the ball obviously a little bit more anyway, and Vad had to carry the load a little bit in the run game.
So you go into the locker room, you're up by 7, 21-14, but you knew that wasn't going to be enough.
No, there was no doubt. We didn't get enough points there at the end of the half where we had an opportunity to maybe go up by 2 scores. And we didn't do that before half. And then we come out, we defer the toss so we can get the second half. And we come out and we don't get 6, we get 3 there. And to me, when you're playing really good football teams on the road, you have to score 6 points. And that's something that we have to learn from and get better at.
Yeah, I was curious, if you do go up by 14 at that point, it's early still in the third quarter.
Sure.
But how does that change? And when you're playing this up tempo, it seems to me that if you can get those two touchdown lead, you really put the pedal to the metal from the offensive standpoint. Were you unable to do that because you only get the 3? No question.
You get 6 at that point, and you have to look at the psyche of the opponent. You have to look at, when you're going fast, then they have to go fast and score quickly also. So we needed to be up 14 instead of 7, and it really hurt us to not score there. And I could actually see the life of our team, some of the life of our team go there at that point in time because we needed to score there.
And again, we don't want to overstress this, but this is a young squad. You put 2 more freshmen out there. You're up to 20, either red shirt or true freshmen. I think it's 10 and 10 right now as far as the freshmen are concerned. Certainly, and with that, certainly they're going to make plays.
Sure.
But the consistency is not going to, it can't be there. They're just not old enough to do it. But yet you realize that and you got to be patient.
Yeah, there's no doubt. When you're building a program and you're trying to instill a culture and you're trying to have it with an infusion of young talent on your team, you have to take some good and some bad together and have a little patience. Our staff, I'm an impatient guy, and I want to have results right now. And I'm like a lot of our fans. Our fans want us to win the national championship today. And I get that, and I understand that. But I also understand too that we're trying to build something for the long haul with this program.
Well, again, 568 yards of total offense, and Vad Lee sets the school record, 406 yards passing, first 400-yard passer in a game, and then he tacks on 72 more yards rushing. That too is a single-game total offensive record for an individual. But defensively, and you mentioned after the game, I mean, as you and I even talked in the post game, you wanted to get more involved in the defense.
Yes.
How will you do that?
Well, I think when you start looking at what's happened to us defensively, I have to go back and look at the structure of how our staff is set up, how we're working practice. Are we getting the things we need to get done in practice? How can I be a factor over there? Back during two-a-days, I was really involved with the outside linebackers during training camp and individual, and actually getting an opportunity to coach those guys, what we call the Sam and the Jack in our system. I have gotten away from that because I'm doing obviously more things during the season, and I think that's suffered a little bit. We're having our defensive line coach really coach the down linemen and the outside linebackers, which is really, it's not fair to him, and it's not fair to those kids either. So I need to take a little bit bigger role, and I look at myself as being a part of the problem of not actually being more involved in that position and at this point in time forward, I'm going to be a little bit more involved.
Well, and you want to become more involved.
Yeah, no question.
I think that when we get down to the core of Everett Withers, you like to teach and you like to work. I mean, being on a TV show is nice, but this isn't really your primary thing every day. You'd rather spend time with these youngsters and get them acclimated to what you want to do.
Yeah. Well, one of the best things about my day is being around in an environment like a Monday afternoon. Monday's our day off, and seeing our kids come over in the afternoon, whether they're coming over to get treatment, whether they're coming over to watch film, whether they're coming over to get notes, and just being around college students. They're not football players that day. They get an opportunity. I get to laugh and giggle and hang around them and enjoy them a lot. And it's fun for me to do that. And then to be able to go out and practice and actually teach and coach, that's fun to me. Always has been, always will be. I enjoy the head coaching part of this, but I also enjoy the teaching part of it.
All right, well, he'll get back to work teaching those linebackers, and we'll see how that results as we move along in this college football season. That wraps up our first session here this afternoon. We'll come back with more here after this timeout on the Everett Withers Show.
Office products, we buy right so you can too.
That's right. At Office Products, we do things right. With our multi-million-dollar inventory of new, used, and refurbished furniture, you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. From desks to chairs, filing cabinets, and so much more.
All the major brands that you're looking for. Office products, we buy right so you can too.
Office Products, we do things right.
Hey, did you know Harrisonburg Nissan has the best selection of pre-owned cars in the Valley? With something for everyone. Best selection, locally owned, #1 volume dealer, it all adds up. Check it out at harrisonburgnissan.com.
Clear to zip. Break a little. That's good. Good job. Game on.
Welcome back to the Coach Everett Withers Show, everyone. Time now for a bit of chalk talk. We'll take you first to the defensive coordinator, Brandon Staley.
Good morning, JMU sports fans. I'm Brandon Staley. I'm the defensive coordinator. I'm here this morning to talk about some of the highlights of our game against Villanova at Villanova. We appreciate everybody that traveled to the game and supported us. It was a really tough game, really competed hard, played against a really good team, and there were a lot of really good things that we can build on moving forward. The first play happened in the first half. It was a critical 3rd down and short. We knew going into the game that their quarterback was heavily involved in their 3rd down and short package, running the football. So if you take a look at this play, we're in a 3-4 bench front with Sage Harold and Asin Jock in the game. Asin is the outside linebacker down here to the boundary. We've got Taylor Reynolds, who really makes this play. He's the boundary corner. And then we're playing man-to-man at the top with Dean Marlowe, Aaron Peak, and Jimmy Moreland. We tucked our field safety, Raven Green. We put him over the ball because we knew that they were going to create, a quarterback run game package. So we wanted to have our middle of the field safety mirroring the quarterback. So you can see that's what Raven's doing right here. On the snap, they run a quarterback lead sweep play. And really the guys that make the play are Asin Jock, setting the edge on the tight end, and then Taylor Reynolds, who does a great job avoiding the cut block, playing with great technique, great fundamentals, and knocking the runner out of bounds actually for a tackle for a loss. And you can see Raven tracking the play inside out and just does a fantastic job of getting a tackle for a loss on a really critical 3rd down and play, which really gave us a lot of momentum, and our offense would go down and score that next drive. So that was a really, really well-executed defense. We had practiced it all week. We knew what was coming. And, between Asin right here on their tight end, who's a very good player, and number 14, Taylor Reynolds on their running back, you just see really good fundamentals, really good team defense, and obviously a big stop for us in the first half.
Good, talking a little bit about the Villanova game plan for this week. We knew that if you can see in this picture right here that they like to put a lot of people in the box. So we knew if we were going to run the ball effectively, we were going to have to attack them early on the perimeter. So right here, we just wanted to motion to a 3-by-1, and you watch as we motion, the free safety is going to come down in the box. Anytime that happens, we want to somebody's got to be responsible for this weak side alley. So what we wanted to do was bring the tight end across. Okay, he was going to influence the defensive end to come underneath, get the quarterback to pull the ball, pin this guy underneath. We were going to sell crack, so the corner has to replace to defend the quarterback. And when that happens, you get the X by himself down the field. In all reality, it's a run play. We're blocking inside zone to the right up front. Okay, but the way that they played their free safety, they have to have what we call crack replace rules into the boundary. So we wanted to make sure that we use that against them early, and then for them to have to decide on the sideline how are they going to defend our inside zone game. Were they going to add the extra hat in the box again with the free safety? If they were going to continue to do that, then we were going to continue to take shots in their corner, who is in a run pass type conflict. So how this play works, right? Even without the what we call without the X version of this play right here, they're just blocking. These 5 guys are blocking inside zone up to the right up front. Okay, and he comes across and he does what we call influence. And when he influences, all he's going to do is sell like he's going to kick this guy out, force him to stay in the C gap, so he's going to dip underneath, and then secure the box on the edge right here. And that would be Dean Cheatham right here. We're just going to motion to it to make sure that we can get 7, the free safety, down in the box. Okay, so he influences right here, coming underneath, and he's right there. He's just going to secure the edge. When 15 stayed in the fold, he just continues on to the next one. Okay, and that left Daniel Brown wide open down the field, with the corner having to be the quarterback player down there.
Thank you there, Coach Maringer, learning a little bit about the JMU offensive plan here today. Let's talk about one of the JMU offensive players. He's in his senior year, redshirt senior at that, as Autumn Morowitz joins us with Jawan Latney.
Hi, I'm Autumn Morowitz here with Jawan Latney. Jawan, what an incredible start to your final season with the Dukes. You've had 2 touchdowns in the past 2 of 3 games and a total career best of 106 yards rushing in the game against St. Francis. How has this boosted your confidence?
It's been a great boost to my confidence, just knowing that I can run the ball how I do, and just every week knowing I can get better. And the coach is working with us to make us better every week, just knowing that I'll be ready for our next opponent.
What have you improved on most since your freshman year?
With these new coaches, watching film a lot more now, so I'm understanding defenses. I know where blitzes will come from, and just everything a defense will throw at us coming into the game. So that's really helped me on the field.
What advice will you give to freshmen, especially redshirt freshmen?
Just keep grinding. You know, you might not get your time now, but your time will come. So as long as you're prepared for when that time comes, you go out there and do what you can do and be great at it.
What are your plans upon graduating in December?
Thinking about becoming an astronaut. No, not really. I have no idea what I really want to do after college, so just going with it for now.
What's your most memorable moment here at JMU, on or off the field?
Well, on the field, I would have to say against Richmond my redshirt freshman year when I got my first touchdown. But I also have a bad experience, my first time trying to throw a cut block, and it was probably the worst cut block I've ever seen in my life, and had to sit and watch it in film the next day. So that was rough. And I guess off the field would be when I got a 3.65 for my GPA one semester, so that was great.
With Jawan Latney, I'm Autumn Morowitz for Madison HD Sportsnet and JMView.
Get more of what your family wants from Telos Wireless. Now share 10 gigs of data, unlimited talk and text on 4 lines for just $140 a month. Want even more? How about 0 down on all smartphones? We'll even buy out your contract. More phones, more lines, and more data. Stand up and demand more. Telos, wireless for the people.
At Harrisonburg Nissan, right now, you can get 0% financing on select models. Hey, keep your money. Use Nissans. We'll honor and beat all buying service prices. We want your business. Check it out at harrisonburgnissan.com.
Office products, we buy right so you can too.
That's right. At Office Products, we do things right. With our multi-million-dollar inventory of new, used, and refurbished furniture, you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. From desks to chairs, filing cabinets, and so much more.
All the major brands that you're looking for. Office products, we buy right so you can too.
Office Products, we do things right.
Clear to zip. Break a little. That's good. Good job. Game on.
Come closer. Yeah, that's it. If you buy now at Harrisonburg Nissan, you won't have to make a payment till 2015. But don't tell anyone. If the word got out, everyone will be buying there. Check it out, harrisonburgnissan.com.
Welcome back to the Everett Withers Show. Earlier in the show today, we saw Drew Maringer with a little chalk talk. Let's learn a little bit more about the Dukes co-offensive coordinator.
I decided I wanted to be a coach. During my second year when I was a GA at Iowa State, I wanted to be a coach for sure. It's the best combination, I think, of being involved at a very pivotal point in a young man's life, helping him to grow up and be a man, a father, a husband, a member of society, as well as being involved in the incredible game of football. It's obviously it's a lot of fun, but that combination of things, I realized at my second year at Iowa State that's really what I wanted to do. My mentor and still today, same guy, his name is Tom Herman. He's the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. He did a great job of allowing me to grow as a coach. He really taught me a lot about the game and about really what's important about football, and really what's important about football is the growth of these guys that you coach. I was very excited that I was coming to James Madison. My grandmother had lived in Vienna in Northern Virginia for a while, so I'd been to Northern Virginia. Had not been to the Valley yet, so I had heard unbelievable things about it. So I was very excited to be involved in a program that is very well respected across the country. Has got great facilities, and since I've been here, I found out that the great people around this university and around this town, a lot of great support. So I was excited coming, and I'm still very excited today. And that's really to do with the people involved in JMU and JMU football. My thoughts on the rest of the season as it pertains to looking back at the last two games, we really wanted to see our guys have success. They put in a lot of hard work, and there was, if you put in a lot of hard work as a player, you want to see the fruits of your labor. And they didn't see that game one. Game one was a tough one. And for whatever reason, there's many. They didn't come out and play as well as we could have. Didn't coach, didn't play as well as we could have. So, when we saw it in game two, I really felt like we saw a buy-in factor from our guys. You saw them, realize that all the work that they did was not for nothing. And, I think looking forward into the future, I think we're going to see even better weeks of preparation. We had our best week from Sunday to Thursday of any week that we've had since I've been here this past week again in the Lehigh preparation. And I think we'll continue to see more of that.
It has been a rivalry week here at James Madison University. The Dukes and these old Delaware Blue Hens, they'll be coming to town to face the Dukes here at Bridgeport Stadium, second home game of the season for the Dukes. And Coach, your second CAA game and facing a team that, well, in similar regards is like yours. It's in a, reculturing mode, second year under Coach Dave Brock.
Yeah, Coach Brock, I know a little bit about Coach Brock, his time at North Carolina and his time at Rutgers, and he's an excellent football coach, a very and he's a better person, I think, than football coach. Very good guy. He's doing it what I think is the right way. We had a chance at the CAA head coaches meeting to spend some time together, and he talks about how he's trying to do some things in his program, some things I'd like to do in our program also. And it's a big rivalry. JMU and Delaware has always had a heated history as far as football, and we're excited about the ball game.
Yeah, it's going to be a ball game that kicks off at 4, and Trent Hurley is their quarterback.
Yep.
And as you look at this roster, he's got some seniors, then he's got some young guys with a few middle-classmen, I'll call them, sprinkled in between. But this Hurley kid, 6'4", 215 pounds, he's another big QB.
Yeah, tall, prototypical type quarterback. Not so much the runner as we saw last week, but a little bit more of the drop back play action pass, traditional quarterback, has a good arm, has some targets on the outside, has a very talented tight end, and some good receivers. Good running game. I think their offensive line will be a key for us being able to have some success against a very talented, big offensive line. So offensively, they want to be balanced, and they've done a good job on offense so far this year.
Michael Johnson is their primary receiver. He's a big target too, 6'2", he's carrying some weight. He's 210 pounds.
Right.
Where do they get the ball to him?
Well, I think they try to get the ball to him in space a little bit and try to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him run with the football. Try to get him isolated one-on-one with our young corners. But I think, more than anything else, I think they want to be a run play pass team and take their shots down the field off of the run game.
Nick Boyle is a tight end, one of the best in the CA. This guy's pretty big too, 6'4", 265. I'm sure when he gets those wheels going, he's a load to bring down.
Yeah, I look at him first of all is really a major factor in their run game. When you look at where they want to run the football, they want to run the football to his side. They're very talented up front, but a run game to number 86 a lot in what they do. And when he catches the football, he does a nice job on the play action pass game to catch the football and do things with the ball after he catches it.
They'll come in with a record of 2-1. They're yielding almost 400 yards per game and total offense allowed. What are we looking for from them defensively?
Well, they've shown really a basic front four with 4-3 principles in the front seven and quarters coverage behind. We always expect to see something different because of the style of our offense. Last week we saw a little bit of what we call two sky with a safety down week. We expect people to maybe copycat that a little bit and us to see a little bit more of that. Traditionally, though, they're a quarters team with 4-3 principles up front.
All right, so the Dukes and the Delaware Blue Hens. It's a rivalry game here at Ridge Forest Stadium. Kickoff is at 4 o'clock. That wraps up this week's edition of the Everett Withers Show. Thank you for joining us here. Have a great week.